Okay, so we're going to be completing the square so that we can get this equation, which is in standard form, into vertex form. So what you're going to want to do first is you're going to want to factor out this first number, so 4, from the first two numbers. So when you factor out 4 from 4x squared, you get x squared. And when you factor it out of 72x, you get 18, so plus 18x. And then, as I said, you only do the first two numbers, and then the last number stays outside of the bracket. Okay, so your next step is going to be to continue writing this 4, keep the 4 always outside of the bracket, and then your x squared stays there. And then you're going to want to take your second number, you're going to want to divide it by 2. So 18 divided by 2 is 9, and then you're going to square that number. And then write your 18x, and then 9 squared is 81, so you're going to want to add your 81. However, you can't just add a number because then it changes the equation, so once you add it, you have to subtract it. So minus 81, and then your 12 outside of the brackets. So continue writing the equation, but your next step is you're going to take the square root of this number and this number. So the square root of x squared is just x, and then this is a positive, so plus, and the square root of 81 is 9, and then you're going to want to square that. And then you're going to want to get this number outside of the bracket, but you can't just take it outside of the bracket, you have to multiply it by this number. So it's going to be negative 81 times 4, which is negative 324. Put that right outside your bracket, and then the plus 12. Now you're just going to simplify, so it's going to be the same equation, except you're going to put your negative 324 and 12 together. So plus 12 is negative 312, just like that. And now you have your equation in vertex form because you have your a value, your x, your h, and your k. So now what we're going to do is we're going to find the vertex, step pattern, axis of symmetry, and the optimal value. So the vertex is just going to be this number right here and the number on the end. So your h value and your k value. So this is your x and your y, except this is going to always be the opposite. So if it's a positive, it's going to be a negative. It's a negative, it's going to be a positive. So this is negative 9, this is positive 9, so it's going to be negative 9. So negative 9, and this is just the same number, so negative 312. So there's your vertex. Your step pattern is just going to be your a value, so in my case it's 4, and then you're going to times it by 1, 3, and 5. So 4 times 1 is 4, and then 4 times 3 is 12, and 4 times 5 is 20. So there you have your step pattern, minus 4, 12, 20. And then your axis of symmetry is just your x value in an equation. So mine would be x equals negative 9 because that's my x value. And my optimal value, if it's a positive, it's going to be a minimum, so that would be mine. And if it was a negative, it would have been a max. So mine's going to be a min of negative 312, which is my y value, when x is negative 9. Just like